Hello and welcome everyone to our fourth podcast of 2024 of It's Your Life. My name is Paul Zimney. I'm a CPA and a licensed life and health insurance consultant here in St. Louis, Missouri. Today's topic that my partner Shannon Carpenter and I are going to discuss is the pros and cons of investing in a fixed indexed annuity or FIA. Of course, our goal, as always today, is to help you improve your life, your family's life, and your legacy. But before turning it over to Shannon, let me read a few important definitions of annuities, because this is a product, a program that not everybody is intimately familiar with. First of all, a fixed annuity. This is an insurance contract that promises to pay the insured person a specific guaranteed interest rate on their contributions to the account and can pay out regular income to the insured for a specific number of years or the rest of the life of the insured. A variable annuity is similar to a fixed annuity, except that the interest rate paid on the contributions to the account can fluctuate based on the performance of an investment portfolio as chosen by the insured. The most common annuity we see in the market right now is the fixed index annuity. That is where the interest rate paid to the insured is tied to the performance of a stock market index, example, the S&P 500, which is commonly used, but your contributions are not invested in the actual stock market. So you are able to participate in the upside earnings of the chosen index, but you can never suffer any losses. So I'm going to cover some pros and cons, but first, Shannon, give us your initial thoughts.
Well, just hearing you talk, it kind of sounds like the IUL we talked about last week. You get all the gains of the market, but you can't lose anything. So I would say this is like an IUL for somebody that either has a lump sum of cash or maybe somebody that doesn't have the greatest health, because, these have to pass suitability and have no health questions. So that'd be my opening comments. Paul, back to you.
You bet. So as an example, many retired people have, a large or small 401k from their former employer. Not sure if they should keep that 401k, if they should convert it to something else. So let's think about that and look at some of the pros and cons using that as an example of, say, converting a 401k to a fixed index annuity. Here's a few of the pros and cons. First of all, in general, what I like to describe to people in terms of the contract agreement of an annuity between you and the life insurance company, in most general terms, it is you, the investor or the insured, agreeing to let the life insurance company use your money for a period of time. And in return, they are going to invest that money wisely, and they're going to share the earnings with you. So keep that in mind as a general concept. Specifically, one pro of the fixed index annuity is there is no risk of loss. You will always have as a floor of your investments for the particular year a 0%, meaning if the stock market, again using the S&P 500 as example, goes down 4% or 12% or 18%, you will not lose a penny because your floor is 0%. A con there, the earnings may be capped. In some cases, annuities have an earnings cap per year. In some cases, they don't. Another pro, there is generally a premium bonus that's offered in the market right now. And that means that if you invest, let's say you put down $100,000 into a fixed index annuity, the company may offer a 12% premium bonus, and they're going to initially show your account at $112,000, giving you $12,000 as a premium bonus to sign up. However, the con there is the premium bonus vests over time to you. So you can't just take out that extra $12,000 the day after you sign up for the annuity. It's going to vest over usually about 8 to 10 years in increments, increasing increments. Another pro, no fees generally in a fixed index annuity unless you choose additional riders. That can be a big distinction from a traditional 401k type or a stock index, or I'm sorry, that can be a large distinction between a traditional 401k or other stock investments. And a con there, you commit to keeping the monies, as I suggested earlier, in the annuity for a period of time. Usually that's about 8 to 10 years. A con there is you commit to keeping your monies in the fixed index annuity for a period of time, usually 8 to 10 years, and you can have a financial penalty to take out early withdrawals. However, one important note there on the pro side is most all annuities have a annual percentage amount that you can withdraw at no financial penalty annually from beginning in either year 1 or year 2, and that's usually in the 5 to 10% range or more if you add additional rider. So that's what I've got there, Shannon. Back to you to round it out.
Sure. Thanks, Paul. Well, one thing I always tell people is if you do have something, like we ask that golden question, what do you have that acts like life insurance? And if they have some type of an IRA or a CD or even money in savings, that's what we're looking for to start an annuity. And it's called protected money. It's protected from the government. It's also kind of protected from you. Like you said, you really can't touch the money until it annuitizes, unless you set up a policy with that provision you mentioned where you can take out, let's say, 10% free withdrawal per year. But one thing that I like to do is I like to take, let's say if it's a qualified account, right? You can't, you're a CP, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but you can't roll qualified money into life insurance. So we get people that want to roll these into an IUL or a mutual whole life using infinite banking. And it's not very advantageous to do that. Yes, we're going to make up that loss, but you got to think you're going to take a 20% federal tax hit. Then you're going to take a 10% penalty for if you're not 59 and a half. So if you had $100,000 in your account, you're basically now only going to get $70,000 to be able to put into the life insurance. So that is an option, and a lot of people do use that option. But I think a better option for most people is when they can roll that to a qualified annuity. So you can roll qualified 401k into a qualified annuity, right? So when you do that, you avoid that 30% loss, the 20% in federal tax, 10% penalty, and instead, like you said, they get a bonus. And all the states I've worked with, it's state-based. Most of them are 20%. So I just did one for a guy. It was $500,000 he put in, and we added the premium bonus you were talking about. So now he has an extra 20%. That's $100,000. So he has $600,000 showing up in his account. Well, then we set it up to where he can withdraw 10% for free. That's $60,000 just the first year. So he can withdraw that money and use that money to fund his IUL or his infinite banking concept policy. So essentially, he's putting $1 into the annuity. It's growing a cash account, and then we're using that annuity to fund the other account. So we're spending $1 and it's growing in 3 or 4 different places. But another thing I like to always say is that life insurance creates an estate where there was not one. What an annuity really does is it distributes that estate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You mentioned variable. We talked about IULs last week, and we talked about variable. I'm not a fan of anything that has the word variable in it, because obviously that means the interest rate could go up or it could go down. So at all costs, I tell people try to avoid anything that says variable. Another point for an annuity, and we've got multiple companies. I know we use Athene a lot because Athene wins most of the awards just about every year for every annuity out there. That's all they do. They don't do life and some annuities and some health. They're an annuity company. But we have annuities with Mutual of Omaha and F&G and NLG and all these other great companies and carriers. With Athene, you do have to have $10,000 to be able to start an annuity. So if somebody says, well, I've got $5,000 in my savings, I'd like to start one, they can't. So that's one of the other cons, is that you do need to have money, at least $10,000 worth of money that you can put into one of these. Oh, and then we talked about suitability. Usually to pass suitability, a little tip is you need to have 3 months worth of bill money sitting in a separate account to ensure that you can pay bills. So to qualify for one of these, you don't have to pass any health questions. You don't have a nurse come out and draw your blood or anything like that, but it is based off suitability. And that's one of the things that they're pretty strict on, is you have to have 3 months worth of bill money set aside to ensure that, you're not going to miss a house payment or an electric bill or something because we took all your money and put it into this annuity. So you do have to qualify in some way. All right, Paul, that's all I've got, buddy. Back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Shannon. And that wraps up today's episode. So hope everyone learned quite a bit today about annuities, and especially the fixed index annuity. And we will see you next week for the next episode.